Guys, today we've got yet another highly anticipated pair of Jordan 4s to take a look at. I've said it before, I'll say it again, they've been killing it with the Jordan 4 colorways, and the Jordan 4 hype is on a whole nother level right now, so it's pretty fitting that they drop these. This one is pretty crazy though, because it actually looks very similar to a $30,000 pair of Jordan 4s, so let's take a look. Here we have the box, and this was kind of like one of the surprises with this pair of Jordan 4s. I wasn't really expecting this box. As you can see, it's a flip top lid, something that we don't normally get on Jordan 4s. It's literally all over black with the flight tech, so no special speckling or anything like that. It gets a little bit weirder when you open the top and you find that the inside of the box is actually this weird galaxy print. Or maybe that's not galaxy, it's kind of like some kind of tie-dye effect. This interior is kind of what we found on the Zen Master Jordan 4, so I have no idea why it's on here. It doesn't really fit with the theme or anything to do with the sneaker. Either way, I gotta show you guys this pair. They're pretty clean, guys. Take a look at today's pair of sneakers. It's the Jordan 4 Black Canvas. Okay, here they are, my most anticipated sneaker to drop this month. But do these really live up to the hype? I mean, there's a lot of hype behind these things. They're being compared to some absolute heavy hitters like the M&M Carhartt 4s, and those are the $30,000 shoes I was talking about. Now, I will say for a pair of Jordan 4s, these are actually pretty different. But before we dive into all of that, I do want to give you guys some of the release information on these because it gets a little bit messy. There's a whole bunch of delays, so let's talk about it. So these actually dropped over the weekend here in the UK, that is September the 3rd. Even though these did drop on the Nike Sneakers app, there was only a couple of retailers that actually released these. I assume the rest of the retailers will drop pairs as soon as they get shipments in because of all of the delays, and that will happen later on this month. So if you did take an L on the Nike Sneakers app for these things, don't lose hope completely. Unfortunately for you guys out in the US, your drop is delayed even further. You'll only be getting these on October the 22nd. Now, delays are not the only problem with this sneaker, because the retail price on these things is £200 here in the UK, which I'm assuming out in the US will make them at least $210. So that is significantly higher than the already higher retail price of Jordan 4s, which was $180. However, I will say that the military 4s were $190 and the previous canvas 4s were $200, so Jordan 4 pricing is all over the place. Okay, so they're more expensive and they're more hyped. We really need to figure out if these things are worth it. So let's start with the materials, because I think that's going to be where people draw the line of whether they love this or hate it. So obviously it's different to a standard pair of Jordan 4s, but actually it's different to the previous canvas 4s we had earlier this year. So yes, the base material on here is canvas. However, it feels significantly different to the canvas 4s. Like, it's a lot less rough. It kind of has this smooth texture and all of these lines moving throughout. I would say this has more of a premium look to it. Also, no frayed edges whatsoever. So this, I would say, in terms of looks, resembles a normal pair of 4s a lot more. Canvas is not the only material that you get on this sneaker, because you do have suede, which wraps around the toe box of the sneaker, acting as the mudguard. I really like how that looks. Just having a different material on an almost monochromatic pair of sneakers just adds so much to the design. The suede actually feels really good and premium in hand, and it's not too nappy, so it doesn't change the look of these things dramatically. Now, something I think a lot of people are going to like about this sneaker is the fact that they kept all of the typical design accents from a regular pair of Jordan 4s. You've got all of the plastic accents like the back tab, the eye stays, and of course the rubber mesh, which is just underneath the tongue and the medial and lateral sides of the shoe. For the most part, that comes in all over black except for the eye stays, which you can see are a nice light gray, which matches the midsole super nicely. I guess that's the main part that really does look like the M&M Carhartt 4s, is these eye stays. You also get the standard Jumpman logo patch on the top of the tongue. As you can see, the Jumpman is gray and you have that flight text just underneath in red. I've just gotta say, I love the fact that they made that flight text red. There's something about that very small detail that just makes these sneakers look so much meaner. The midsole's also pretty standard for a pair of 4s, so unlike the previous canvas version, there's no canvas on here. You're literally just getting a mixture of black, gray, and white. Like I said, I was super hyped for this pair of shoes, but when I put them on, I kind of had a oh damn moment. Like, I really like the way that these things look, and I didn't think I was going to prefer these over the military blacks, but I might prefer these over the military blacks. I think heading into fall and winter, these things are an ideal pair of 4s. Now, I know that canvas for the most part is a material choice that a lot of sneakerheads don't really like on their shoes just because of how hard they are to keep clean. However, these being all over black kind of negates that aspect just a little bit because they will still look pretty much brand new. Even if you do get a couple marks, it should just blend right into that canvas. There's just something about the all over black with the gray and the white. There's something about that I kind of feel like I could dress up or dress down. It's inconspicuous but super loud at the same time. I think these are going to be a very popular pair of Jordan 4s in the future once they have their full release. And typically speaking, or historically speaking, when it comes to popular colorways of the Jordan 4, they go up in price, as we've seen with so many 4s recently, like the Black Cats, the white Oreos, even the military blacks that just recently dropped. All super wearable and all have risen in price to something that I really don't want to pay. So if you are after these, definitely do your best to enter as many raffles and try get them for retail. Now, in terms of the on-foot experience, sizing, and everything that goes along with that, well, as we know, Jordan 4s are not the most comfortable pair of shoes. They are not the most comfortable pair of Jordans by any means, but I mean, hey, that's the price you pay for such a good-looking pair of shoes, at least in my opinion. I typically avoid wearing pairs of 4s if I know I'm going to be walking super far or if I'm gonna just be standing around for hours on end. But if I'm not walking miles, I love the way that Jordan 4s look on foot, and I just love this colorway. I think this is one of my favorite 4s that have released recently. I like the materials, I like the way that it looks, it's something a little bit different, and it's just a solid pair of 4s. In terms of sizing, if you've never tried on a pair of 4s, I would stick with your true to size. That, in my opinion, is the way to go, so that's what I'm gonna recommend. Either way, guys, these are right around the corner. They're gonna drop kind of sporadically over the next 2 months, so hopefully you guys manage to get a pair if this is one that you do want. I really like it. Let me know your thoughts of these down in the comment section, but that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another one. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.